we are moving. I hope you are understanding as I am explaining the process of solving these questions and answering the questions. Okay, question 4 is on number patterns. We are given a linear number pattern. We are given a linear number pattern with the terms 1, -1, -3, and it goes on in that pattern. Okay, 4.1.1, you are asked to write down the values of the next two terms of the pattern. We understand that if it is a linear number pattern, the difference between successive terms is the same. So if we find the difference here, it's -1, -1, that gives us -2. Let's check if it's the same. -3 minus -1, that is -3 plus 1, that gives us -2. So what it means is that we are simply subtracting -2 to get the next term. So from -3, if we subtract 2, we'll get -5, and then the next term will be -7. So we are just saying the next two terms are -5 and -7. Alright, then 4.1.2, write down which term of the pattern will have the value of -53. And 4.1.3, it says determine the formula for the nth term. The order of the questions was supposed to be 4.1.3 was supposed to come first, and then 4.1.2. So we are going to start with 4.1.3. We want to determine the nth term of the number pattern. Well, it depends on the way that you have been taught. We understand generally that the nth term, Tn, can be written as Dn plus C. And then where our D is the common difference. So we are saying D is equal to -2, therefore Tn is equal to -2n plus C. Now we want to find C. We can just pick any term on what we are given. Let's say we take term number 2. Term number 2 is -1. So we are saying Tn represents a term, so it's -1. This term, we get it when n is 2. And then let's solve for C, that is -1 is equal to -4 plus C. Taking the -4 to this side, it will be 4 minus 1 is equal to C, that is 3 is equal to C. So we are saying, therefore, Tn is equal to -2n plus 3. Just check if your Tn is correct. You can use term number 3. If you put 3 here, it will be -2 by 3, which will give you -6. And -6 plus 3 gives you -3. So that means your Tn is correct. And then 4.1.2, which term of the pattern will have a value of -53? Alright, then it's now about taking the general term, equate it to the term we are given, and solve for n. So on 4.1.2, we are saying -2n plus 3 is equal to -53. And this brings a linear equation. We have to take 3 to the right side, that is -2n is equal to -53 minus 3. The positive 3 becomes negative, that is -2n is equal to negative 56. Then we divide by negative 2. Therefore, n will be equal to negative 56 divided by negative 2, which will give us 28. So we are saying, therefore, negative 53 is T28. All right. Moving on to 4.2. 4.2, we are given we are given 3x minus 7 is the first term, 2x the second term, and then 3x plus 1 the third term, and then the pattern continues. Now this pattern is said to be a linear pattern. 4.2.1, if the pattern continues in this manner, determine the value of x. Now, in this question, for you to determine the value of x, it means you have to create an equation which you have to solve for x. So how do we create the equation? You must be in the understanding that from the terms that we are given, we know that T2 minus T1 is the same as T3 minus T2, because that's the calculation of D for a linear pattern. Now substituting, T2 is 2x minus T1 is an expression, so put it in brackets, is equal to T3, 3x plus 1, minus, it's just one term, you may put, you may not put it, there will be no difference. Then here you need to remove brackets, that is 2x, the negative is multiplying the bracket, that will be negative 3x plus 7, and that will give us, on the right hand side is 3x plus 1 minus 2x. Now it's a matter of collecting like terms. 2x minus 3x, that's negative x. And then plus 7 is equal to 3x minus 2x, that is x plus 1. Terms in x, let's bring them to the left side, that would be negative x minus x is equal to 1 minus 7. Minus x is minus 2x is equal to negative 6. Then we divide by negative 2. So we say therefore x will be equal to negative 6 divided by negative 2, which will give us positive 3. So that's how we find the value of x. Alright, then 4.2.2, which term in the sequence is the first to be greater than 31? So on this one, we need to find the general term first, and then create an inequality, as the question is saying, greater than 31. That calls for an inequality. But then, let's first find our terms. Term number 1 is 3x minus 7, that is 3 by 3 minus 7, which is 9 minus 7, that gives us 2. Term number 2 is 2x, that is 2 by 3, which gives us 6. Term number 3 is 3 by 3 plus 1, that is 10. So basically we are saying we have a pattern 2, 6, 10. And what is our D? 6 minus 2, that's 4. Is it the same? That's 4. So we are saying therefore D is equal to 4. So therefore Tn is equal to 4n plus C. Let's use term number 1, which is 2. Our n will be 1 plus C. Then 4 by 1 is 1. We take the 4 to the left side. That will be 2 minus 4 is equal to C. That is negative 2 is equal to C. Therefore, Tn is equal to 4n minus 2. That is our Tn. Now, with this Tn and what the question is saying, which term in the sequence is the first to be greater than 31? So that means 4n minus 2 should be greater than 31. Now let's solve this inequality for n. We have to take the negative 2 to the right side. So it's 4n is greater than 31 plus 2. That is 4n is greater than 33. Then we divide by 4. So we're saying therefore n should be greater than 33 over 4. And 33 over 4, let's write it as a decimal so that we can see where the position of n is relative to the inequality and then predict the next term. 4 goes into 33 8 times, leaving 1. That means it's 8 1/4. So if n should be greater than 8 1/4, remember the positions are whole numbers. Alright? So positions are natural numbers. So that means our n, therefore, n should be equal to 9 for us to have a term that is greater than 31. The first term will be when n is equal to 9. That is question number 4. Alright. Let's take a small break and then we'll meet in the next question.